In this video, I'm going to show you how to do push-ups properly for beginners and how to avoid the most common mistakes and pitfalls that will drastically impact your gains. So, let's just dive right into it, shall we? What is going on, my friends? This is Jake of www.jgcalisthenics.co.uk, and I just want to mention, if this is your first time here on this channel and you're looking for the best guidance for starting calisthenics, make sure you subscribe to the channel now and turn on post notifications, because every Monday and Thursday I make new videos specifically for people like you. Right, but enough of me blabbing, let's get right into it, right? So, first things first, I'm going to demonstrate how to do push-ups properly, and then we're going to go over the most common mistakes so you can make the best gains possible, right? Starting out with how to do push-ups right, what we want to consider is first of all the hands are just outside, shoulder width apart, right? And then as we get into the starting position, we're going to make sure that our glutes are engaged, so slightly tense, as well as our core being engaged, so we can maintain a neutral spine. As we come down, we're going to keep our elbows tucked in by our sides. We're going to come all the way down, so our chest touches the ground, all the way up, so our elbows are straight, right? So, hands just outside shoulder width, core and glutes engaged, elbows tucked in, all the way down, chest to the ground, all the way up, elbows straight. Make sense? If it does, then good stuff, because now what we're going to cover is the common mistakes to avoid, right? And so obviously I'm sure you may be aware that you've always been told keep your elbows tucked in because you don't want to have your elbows to flare out, because that is mistake number one. When you let the elbows flare out by internally rotating the shoulders, you put a lot of strain on not only the elbows but the shoulders in particular, which can lead to a lot of nasty injuries and particularly a lot of issues with your rotator cuff. And tell you for a fact, my friend, you do not want to be damaging that rotator cuff. So how do we overcome it, you may be asking? Well, I'm glad you asked, my friend. So what we're going to do is that instead of internally rotate, sorry, I've just got OCD with my mats right here, but in terms of keeping the elbows and the shoulders in a healthy position, instead of letting the shoulders internally rotate, we're going to slightly externally rotate the shoulders, and we're actually going to do this beforehand, right? So we're going to screw our hands to the ground outward, right? So again, instead of internally rotating the shoulder, we're going to externally rotate the shoulder, and you'll find that as you do this, your elbow pits should be facing forward, which is what we want, right? And you want to think of actually keeping your elbows tucked in by your sides, applying the same cues and keeping your elbows tucked in by your side. What you're going to find is that you're naturally going to have an easier time of keeping the elbows tucked in and also keeping the shoulders in a strong and healthy position. Does that make sense? Awesome. Now we're going to move on to mistake number two, which is improper hand placement. So what most people will do is, instead of having their hands in line with their shoulders, they'll have their hands past their shoulders. So instead of it being a push-up, right, it's almost like they turn it into some form of tricep extension. And because it's just naturally an awkward angle, it's actually very hard to do the full range of motion, because look, it just doesn't feel very nice and it looks very awkward, right? So what we'll do instead is that we'll have the hands and the wrists in line with the shoulder. Do you see what I mean? So if I was to demonstrate here, and if you were to do it yourself, you'll find that as you come down, it feels way more natural, way easy on the shoulders, and as a result, you'll be able to get the most out of your push-ups without any pains or issues. Mistake number three is cutting range of motion, right? What I want to cover is particularly the neck positioning, right? Because not only do we not want to extend the neck forward like this, but mainly what people do is that as they fatigue with their push-ups, is that they'll flex the neck forward slightly. So instead of the chest coming to the ground, they'll let the nose come to the ground instead, so it cuts the range of motion and makes it easier. And further, when some people get really fatigued, they're just like, nah, yeah, getting in those push-ups, right? So again, we don't want to extend the neck or flex the neck, right? Neck in a neutral position as well as the spine to keep a good proper posture. Chest to the ground, and boom, boom. Much harder, but the gains are going to be much more rewarding, right? So mistake number four, my absolute favorite, Donald Duck posture, right? So what happens as a consequence of not having the glutes or the core engaged is that people will arch their back into an anterior pelvic tilt. They'll sag their hips down. So now do push-ups like this, right? What we do, the correct position is that your back should be like a plank, right? Like literally, you know, if someone's to actually put a plank of wood on your back, it should all be in line, right, with your posture. Do you see what I mean? So what you want to do is you're going to keep your glutes engaged, like you're trying to pinch a pound coin in between your butt cheeks. It sounds ridiculous, but it works, right? And you want to keep your core engaged as if, like, imagine that someone from the ground is actually about to punch you, right, in the stomach. So if your core wasn't engaged, like, that would actually, I actually kind of winded myself. Obviously, as you could see there, by not having your core engaged, you actually wind yourself if someone was to punch your stomach. But if you keep your core engaged, it doesn't hurt, right? So, glutes engaged, core engaged, right? And so from here, not gonna arch the back, not gonna sag the hips or whatever. Nice, proper posture. And you'll find that as you come down and up, the chest remains in line with the pelvis, which is awesome. That's what we want. And last but not least, one thing I particularly see with new clients when introducing them to push-ups is the shoulder positioning, right? So most people, it's like they can have all the form cues down, but without the proper scapular and shoulder blade engagement, what can happen is that we can let the shoulders shrug in towards our ears. So we could be using all the form cues done before, but like this, and the shoulders shrugged up to our ears and the scapula elevated, we can put a lot of stress and strain on the shoulders themselves, which we don't want. And what we want to think instead, so instead of having the scapula elevated, I think I'm keeping the scapula depressed, right? So a bit like before, having the elbows tucked in by your sides, you want to almost think of, as you lower down, almost pulling it back towards your waist, because you'll find that almost as you do that, you'll keep your shoulder blades down and back to keep the shoulders in a strong and healthy position. So we don't want to retract or elevate the shoulders like this. We'll start by pressing down into scapular protraction and then keeping the shoulder blades pulled back to keep it depressed and in a strong and healthy position. So again, this is not what we want, this is what we want. So as we do this, lower down, we're good, proper form. And so as we've covered the good form cues, we've covered the common mistakes, but what if you still may not be comfortable with push-ups in the first place? Because once you actually apply all these cues, your push-ups will probably feel about 10 times harder. And that's normal, that's actually good, if anything, right? So if you still struggle with push-ups in that regard, what you can do, they can actually do push-ups on an incline, slowly work your way down as you get stronger. And I've actually made a full video on that, on the incline push-up method for beginners, which I'll link up somewhere around here for you to check out, so you can make the most progress with your push-ups possible, right? So with that said, if you enjoyed this video, you like my content, you enjoyed watching every single minute, every single second of this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what you found most helpful in this video. And I'd love to know as well, when this video is uploaded, it would have been my birthday 2 days before, on the 22nd of October. So I'd love to know in the comments section down below, how old do you reckon I am? What birthday of mine do you think I just celebrated? We should get some really interesting comments, shall we? But anyway, as that's enough for me today, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, my friend, and as a crew member of the Game Show Express, keep moving forward.